For those who have forgotten, Trump was president in the US from 2017 to 2021. We may remember what that was like. I remember what that was like. Hate crimes are through the roof, particularly in areas that had held Trump rallies, in areas that had significantly voted in large margins for Trump. I'm anticipating that it's about to get real off the hinges. Some of y'all is on these internets talking about how you got hands, you can fight, you got a gun, you ain't worried. That's a horrible way to live. So I'm here to offer you some alternatives. Welcome to Blaxit to Africa. I'm Tadre Delora Monye, a California native living my best life in Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you for coming along for the ride. I hope that you are informed, entertained, and inspired to Blaxit to Africa. What am I on today? I don't even know. Is it this vanilla tea? Hey, the inauguration happened. We knew it was coming on MLK Day. Yeah, it was wild. I didn't even watch it. Y'all know I don't watch the news. For my mental health, I probably have not watched the news in about, it's been over 10 years. And so you probably know better than I do what happened. However, it was on my timeline. Folks was talking about it in my favorite podcast. It's going to be a wild ride. I anticipate some of y'all talking about, it's going to be a long 4 years. Really? You think it's only going to be 4 years? The man control all branches of the government. Might be a little longer than that. But before I get into the topic at hand, we haven't done a life update in a while. So let's get into it first. Okay, let's get into what I'm wearing. This is a Motions piece. Let me get up for you so you can see. Can y'all see? Can y'all look at this? It's just cute. It is a romper. I love a romper. And you see, okay, listen. You see this? These images here, this is specific to Rwanda. I'll share a little information about them. This is how they dressed back in the day. Not how they dressed, but this is how they did their hair back in the day. And it has become rather popular again. Apparently there's only like 2 barbers in Rwanda that can still do this style. Let me tell you a little bit about Motions. Motions is a brand, a fashion brand that is based in Kigali, Rwanda. By the way, Kigali, amazing fashion brands. I interviewed 3 fashion designers when I was there in my series, for my series, Off the Beaten Path, which was a series about international travel and fashion. You can watch it on YouTube or you can watch it on Quayle TV if you have a subscription there. And he's just a wonderful human being. The founder's name is Moses, and he used to be, believe it or not, he used to be Mr. Africa in terms of like his fitness and his looks and all of that. And it's been amazing to just watch his journey. And he made this piece. And so when you come to East Africa and you're looking for indigenous textiles, there aren't many. You've got the shuka, which is behind me on that chair, which the Maasai are known for wearing the shukas. I don't think they're produced in East Africa anymore. Maybe so. I don't know. I read somewhere that they were being produced in India. However, it is traditional for Maasai to wear. Now we just keep them in the house as blankets. You've got the, oh my God, the congas. The congas from Tanzania. You've got those. And you've got bark cloth in Uganda. Bark cloth has been trying to make a comeback for a while. Don't know how practical that is. And then what else do we have? Oh, we've got the kikoi. The kikoi, which is woven. This stuff, I don't know if it's still produced in East Africa, but you know, this is what we have. So it's been cool to see Moses make his own fabrics and make it just very Rwandese. He dresses the first family of Rwanda. I'm really gushing about him. Okay, moving on. What else is happening in my life? My mom, she had a mini stroke. Yeah, she had a mini stroke. So I am paying for her treatments. She's getting physiotherapy, pranic healing, which is basically the harnessing of energy to expedite the healing in the body. Yes. So in India, they'll use pranic healing for cancer patients in conjunction with what we call modern medicine. So I've been handling that for her, and she's coming along, which brings me to another PSA. Y'all know I'm a content creator. It seems to be so, and I would love it if you would subscribe. Yes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because it really helps with the algorithm and it helps me grow. And if you got a little coin at the bottom of the screen, you'll see this heart where it says thanks. You can give me a little thanks. You can drop me a little coin there as well. You can share. You can also buy me a little coffee. There's a link in the description box where you can buy a little coffee, which really will buy a mic. I literally just recorded this episode and had to trash it because I thought that I could go downtown in Nairobi CBD and get me a mic for 4,500 shillings. That's probably what, $35, $30? I thought I could go down there and get me a little wireless remote mic, and I thought that the sound quality would be good. It wasn't. It wasn't. Streets of Nairobi, how come nobody warned me? That's a song, y'all. It's also summertime in Nairobi. Love that for us. Love it so much. Folks is complaining about the heat. You won't find me complaining about the heat because I'd rather have heat than cold. You see what I'm saying? Cold here is like 50 degrees, maybe 40 in the mornings and sometimes evenings. And then in the afternoons, it'll be a cool 70s. Right now, it's a nice 80s. I'm not complaining. Yes, summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. I can hold a tune. I can hold a note. What's the saying? I can hold a note, kinda. Anyway, that's not why you're here. For those who have forgotten, Trump was president in the U.S. from 2017 to 2021. We may remember what that was like. I remember what that was like. Hate crimes are through the roof, particularly in areas that had held Trump rallies, in areas that had significantly voted in large margins for Trump. Yeah, some of y'all may have lived in those regions, and these white supremacist groups. I don't call them supremacists, I call them white inferiority groups, because really, how can you consider yourself superior and still be hating on other people? You know, when you all that, you're not even concerned about the next man except for to help. You know what I'm saying? Because you're feeling good about yourself. But anyway, they call them white supremacist groups. They increased by 50% during the previous Trump era. I'm anticipating that it's about to get real off the hinges. Some of y'all is on these internets talking about how you got hands, you can fight, you got a gun, you ain't worried. That's a horrible way to live. So I'm here to offer you some alternatives to what is happening in the U.S. while fully aware that all of y'all ain't leaving. And if you do leave, you probably not leaving for good, and that's fine. I just want you to be safe because I was worried. I woke up, I was worried, even though my morning meditation said, I do not concern myself with those things that I cannot control. And I said it over and over again in meditation, and I was still concerned for y'all. And then I got on the phone, I was talking to my homie in San Francisco, and he was like, Tadre, why are you worried about people who are not trying to save themselves? Okay, I got it. And still, this is Blaxit to Africa, so I'm concerned. I want you to be safe. I want you to be well in your body and well in your mind. And I've already seen on the internet that a lot of people are not well in the mind. And I'm not saying that Africa is a panacea for every and all things, but my goodness. Perhaps you can mitigate Perhaps you can get a reprieve from the madness. And so I'm encouraging you to Blaxit to Africa. Yes, I'm encouraging you to do so. Now, even if you don't come here and live out the rest of your days, perhaps you can invest in a vacation property, a vacation home where you can just fly in and fly out. Yes, I know it's a 21-hour to 24-hour flight. However, your body will love you for it. Your mind will love you for it. You don't even have to buy a whole house. The rents here are relatively inexpensive. I know somebody that has an apartment here that they keep for $250 a month, and they don't even live here. That might be an option for you, to have an apartment here that you can just fly in, fly out, and it's furnished. Or you can rent from somebody who has a furnished apartment or a room, and you can just have that for you. Perhaps you can purchase a condo. While you're not here, you can rent it out. But when you're ready to come back to your new chosen home, it's there for you. Perhaps you might want to buy a house. These are things that I think you should really be thinking about in this current political state. Now, because Africa is so far from North America, for example, perhaps you might want to consider the Caribbean. Also, can be relatively inexpensive. It depends on the island. A lot of imports, so the Caribbean can get a little pricey, but it just depends on how you want to live and where you want to go. I'm all about Blaxiting to Africa. However, I'm also about humanity. So where do you feel safe? If the Caribbean is closer and you have a job, aging parents that you need to be close to, the Caribbean might be the next best option. Central America, folks love Colombia. They love Guatemala, Costa Rica, Panama, Belize. Maybe you might want to consider the northern parts of South America. At the end of the day, I want you to be safe. Okay? Now, that safety may be in a country that has a predominantly Black population or not. Folks is also loving it in Thailand. Okay? They loving it in certain parts of Indonesia. They loving it in Bali. Wherever you find your safety, I implore you to get busy about accessing your safety when you need it. Also, thinking about your legacy. Legacy. Just thinking about your legacy, my good people. And before I go, let me just remind you that Kenya has a digital nomad visa. Yes, indeed. It is currently active. And you can go on the e-visa site right now and you can apply for it. However, that website isn't always functioning at 100%. So if you need some help, I know some people. Hit me up, book a consultation. And also, we got a retirement visa. You might be saying, sis, babe, TT, I'm not ready for retirement. You can retire in Kenya at 35. I'm going to do a whole episode on the retirement visa. Actually, it's not a visa. It's a K permit. Technically, it's a K permit, known on the streets as a retirement visa. You can apply for it. If you want to know more about the digital nomad visa, check out an episode that I did about it last year. And also, before I go, I want to talk about two more things. Your mental health. Please know that Africa is not a panacea for your mental health. You have previous existing mental health issues. Know that when you come here, you'll still need to keep up your treatments, your medications, your therapies. The reason why I say this now is because I've been asked to help save an American woman from herself in Tanzania. There's not a whole lot I can do from here. She had a couple of mental breaks and she was not surrounded by a community. That's the thing. The community that you would normally rely on in your passport countries, in Europe, in North America, they're not here in large numbers. And so if you have a mental health crisis, there will be very few people that can help you. I've met people who have said, God will deliver me from it. And they have found themselves in very bad situations. Also, I want to tell you, I have been promoting entrepreneurship in Africa. I've been saying, don't come here trying to get no job. You need to tap into your entrepreneurial energy. But I have never said, just come here and go hard on your own. I have always said, partner up with someone on the ground. I got a call earlier this week from a gentleman who had the resources, but he didn't have the partnerships. And now it's just not looking good. Know that operating a business in Africa, yes, I'm generalizing. Operating a business in Africa, starting a business in Africa is not like starting a business in your passport countries in North America and in Europe. I was just talking with a Kenyan American friend, and she was like, Tadre, you know, starting a business in the US is easy. You file the paperwork, you pay the fees, you pay the taxes. Certain counties, they may ask you to grease a palm or two, but that's not usually the case. Starting a business specifically in Kenya, there's a lot that's unspoken, and you need assistance. You can't just get here with your resources, your product, and your services and just think that you can hit the ground running. So I say all of that to say, book a consultation with me or someone else that you trust. First 15 minutes is free. Beyond that, there is a fee. Okay? Now, I don't know everything. I'm not pretending to know everything, but I'm partnered with Kenyan businesses that do. They do have the access, they do have the network, and they know how the systems work. That's all for now. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Blaxit to Africa. If you like what you heard, please share, subscribe, and leave a comment. May you thrive. May you be inspired. May you move with love and intention. Until next time.